You cannot believe the quality of the pictures that I take with this incredible camera that I just got. Yeah, 10 megapixel. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those details. Look at those specifications, right? Fancy details about the lens. And the really cool thing is, I don't even have to put film in this. Like, I don't have to go to blacks all the time and get my film developed, you know, it always costs so much money. And so the cool thing about this is that it has, okay, a nice small battery in there, and it has, look at this. This is, I can't believe the technology here. Look at this. Look, this has 4 gigabytes. This holds 4 gigabytes of pictures, and I can shoot videos with this thing. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, okay. And I'm a big fan of the latest technology. Like, look at that. Look at that. Oh, you gotta check out the zoom on this Fujinon zoom lens. All right, three times optical zoom, 2.7 LCD screen. Oh yeah, I'm just so jazzed. I don't even need Christmas presents. I'm so jazzed about this. All right, so of course the year is 2009, right? So what kind of technology are you jazzed about? What kind of stuff really gets you excited? Are you the kind of person who chases after new tech and spends top dollar, sometimes maybe even the kind of dollars that you don't really have, right? Okay, so I dug this out of my office drawer a little while ago, and I charged it all up. And guess what? It works perfectly. And after, you know, about a half an hour, it's going to go back into that drawer. And the battery eventually will die. What's going on here, folks? Perfectly useful piece of technology. Little problem, though. 2009. Now, we have, as we've been talking lately, all kinds of freedom to make choices, right? Life is this much what happens to us if you accept this proposition, right? And mostly how we respond. Okay, so back in 2009, I had a flip phone that I'll do a future video on, and I wanted to capture all kinds of cool things. And of course, you know, taking pictures of my kids, videos, and tobogganing and everything else, you know, just like, you know, any other dad. And I wanted to capture that, and I did. And a lot of that cool stuff is still on this very advanced SD card. I mean, 4 gigs, guys. I mean, come on. That is seriously cool. And notice, force of habit, hey? I mean, you know that you can't lose this piece of expensive technology when you're leaning over Niagara Falls, taking a picture of your kids, waving at you. All right, so the bottom line is this is very valuable. Sorry, it was very valuable. And I'm certainly a technology collector, so I have some prized possessions, including several Blackberries. Yes, I'm still a closet fan. But here we go. We're talking about choices, you know, that I made in terms of technology, you know, over a decade ago, and it worked at the time. Why do I not use this still? Do you know? Do you have a an aunt or uncle, all right, who uses this? You know, it's funny. Every time, you know, another generation comes, you know, grows up, they sometimes grab hold of some of our old technology and, you know, bring it back to some kind of niche popularity. Okay, we've seen that in turntables in the last 15 years, certainly. But why don't I use it? Well, I don't use it because things have moved on. Technology has moved on. There's nothing wrong with me using it, just like there wouldn't really be anything wrong with me, you know, grabbing a, you know, an 8-track player from a garage sale and installing it in my truck and wiring it up and, you know, listening to Johnny Cash or Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell. I mean, you know, those are still around, probably at the same garage sale. Old technology is old for a reason, right? Things come and things go. And now, you know, nobody, unless you are a professional photographer, takes camera pictures with cameras, right? So, we use our phones all the time. So what has changed? Well, we're talking about choices and the freedom to make certain choices, right? And, because of our economy and because of the marketplace, we can, buy stuff, and new stuff gets invented and gets sold, and we buy the latest and the greatest sometimes, okay? And sometimes we make other choices. What has this got to do with, 1090, with life is just somewhat what happens to us. Those things that happen to us are incredibly important and have incredible impact, but we have more choices than we think in terms of how we respond, okay? So my response to this awesome piece of engineering that, was quite a miracle back in 2009 and 2008 and 7. By the way, did you ever have a, one of those $100 35 millimeter cameras, okay, that predated this? And before that, did you have, kicking it old now, a disc camera, okay? A disc camera. I'm not talking CD. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I took that to Europe when I was 17, and boy, the pictures were incredibly terrible. All right. So just a little flash from the past to get us to reflect a little bit about the choices that we can make. I can still use this, but I choose not to. Okay, so enough about technology. Let's talk more about choices. Let's talk more about freedom. All right? Do you feel like you have freedom in your life to make decisions? Like I've said before, young people really, really struggle with this. Young people, certainly the students that I teach and the clients that I have in my tutoring business, struggle with, figuring out what kind of choices to make. First of all, they feel overwhelmed in terms of career choices, all right? And we do them a disservice when we tell them you have to make a decision, because goodness knows that's difficult. What we need to do instead is to empower kids to make informed decisions and scaffolded decisions, not all at once in this instant world that competes for their attention. And, kids, attention in the last 3-4 years has gone from, certainly attention spans, that are short have gotten way, way shorter, right? And, we've got some algorithms to thank for that. But again, we have the choice to participate in that, right? But the bottom line in terms of choices and freedoms to make choices, and the freedom to make choices, is that, that can be daunting. And so it's no surprise that people, frankly, of all ages, shy away from, taking responsibility and making some tough decisions. Quite often, the most important decisions that you make are fairly simple ones, but are yet incredibly difficult, right? Okay, so, and again, this is why, frankly, I find it so meaningful and purposeful to teach high school, because high school is truly a 4-year fork in the road, okay? It's like, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. These are kids that are growing up, they're making choices and they're struggling, and they need guidance, okay? So this is just a shout out to parents now who may be struggling. Maybe your child needs some extra help with math, science, English, whatever, and maybe they can get it at school, or maybe they have to go beyond school to get that help. But your child needs to be supported in taking some more responsibility for the decisions that they make. And like I said, in this distracted world in which we live, it's no surprise that people shy away from decisions. But the fact is, most of our lives, revolve. And purposeful living involves making choices, right? Not just hiding behind blame and blaming other people for our circumstances, but actually discovering, wow, I can actually pivot, 2 degrees that way. And then if I go that way for a couple of miles, then I find myself in a completely different destination than if I were to stay at 0 degrees, all right? Just some food for thought.